Hi, everybody. This is John Folkfern from Seat Academy. I trust you guys are well. We've got a couple of our staff members here today. We just about talking about online education, online homeschooling, and so on. So I'm going to hand over to Melissa, our sales manager. She is going to be leading today's discussion. Melissa, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Melissa Davids. I'm the sales manager for Seat Academy.
Today's discussion.
Sorry, I just had a bit of a reverb going at the moment. Okay, there we go. So welcome to Seat Academy, online school for from grade R up until grade 12. We started last year and we've grown tremendously. We're fully CAPS aligned, in line with the Department of Education. Our medium of teaching is only available in English, and obviously we have an amazing product. We work from 2 different platforms, one of them being the Google Classroom, which you get the pre-recorded video lessons as well as all our resources, assessments, and assignments. And then we also have the Google Meet, where we have virtual interactive classes Monday to Friday from 8:30 till about 1 o'clock. All our things is online. We have an amazing support system from IT department to tutoring to back-end customer services, the work. So whatever you need, we're there to help you through everything. I'd like to introduce you to our panel today. We've got Abigail. Abigail is our digital marketer as well as one of our parents. Say wave, Abigail. And then we have the Deputy Academy Director, which is Claire. Claire, say hi. There's also Kirsty Faree, who is the Deputy Director for the Administration Department. So she is our IT girl. Yay! Then there's Herbert. Herbert is one of our tutors. Welcome, Herbert. Glad to have you here. And then obviously there's John Folkvane, which is the Academy Director. So if you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments and we will get to them. In the meantime, could I just ask, maybe shall we start with Claire today? Claire, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning and welcome. As Melissa mentioned, I am Claire Jooste. I'm the Deputy Academic Director for Seat Academy. I would love to hear some questions from some of the parents or people who have joined our live session. That would be exciting to catch some questions going. I just want to check quickly. We'll register next month. Sorry, I was just reading one of the comments there quickly. That's exciting. We're always excited to get new people on board, and we just love having the kids join our academy and all that we do with the tutors. So I'm just going to discuss a couple things that we do further on to what Melissa was discussing. We are able to do so many different things in our live sessions, just like a school would do. So we're able to monitor our class attendance. So every day we are able to see exactly who is in our class, who's attended, who's missing. So we even have an absentee form that our parents can fill in when the students are not able to make it for whatever reason, which is great because then us as the tutors and the academy are able to follow up with whoever is missing. Then just to discuss quickly our quality of work that we are doing, the tutors are basically following a CAPS aligned program. So we are following what the schools are doing so that if for any reason a student has to leave our academy, they are able to actually join the public schools again, or any school for that matter, because we are following the same system. One of the great aspects that we are doing at the moment is we actually do ongoing assessments with the students. So we're able to monitor how they are doing, how they are taking in the information from our live lessons and video recordings that our tutors produce. We do end of term tests for their marks as we give the students reports. We also do exams, but we only do exams for the FET phase and the senior phase twice a year. The rest of our phases will only do it once a year. Now, one of the great things about the tests and assessments is that it is actually all online, and our tutors are able to give out memos for the students so they know what to study. They're also able to give out the test just before the students do the test. So there's no, leakage of what the tests are before the test is done. And everything's online. So it's fantastic because you're able to see even who hands in a test, who hasn't handed in a test. So we're able to monitor the kids that are struggling. I'd also like to, sorry, I don't want to take up too much time, but I also just want to discuss two other aspects of our class activities. That's one of the greatest things about our tutors and stuff like that in the classes. They're able to do video recordings. So in case your child has missed the lesson, they're able to watch the video and catch up and not fall behind with class. And we're also doing live lessons, which means that the students get to join our tutors live every day to interact with our tutors and have the tutors explain the material in more depth and understanding for the students. So there's no falling behind in that aspect. One of the other great things that the tutors do as well is they give out projects for the kids to do. We've had physical education projects where the kids had to do a video on exercises. We have poetry reading that the students get to do for English. We have experiments that the kids are doing for NS and technology at the moment, where it's interactive. The kids are all joining, all get to watch you make something for technology, and then allow the opportunity to discuss. So this is some of the great things that we get to do with our kids all live. And that's it from me for now.
Hi,
Sorry,
Melissa.
Melissa,
Just unmute your mic, please.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me? There we go. Thank you, Claire. Really appreciate that introduction. Can we then move maybe to Herbert, also one of our tutors?
Yeah, I'm so glad Claire spoke before me because all the things I wanted to share, she already said. So I'm really grateful. My name is Herbert Theron. I started at SEED Academy in the second term. At the beginning of the second term, it was actually a smooth takeover because the previous tutor was quite good and she was very helpful. So I could ride the wave quite easy. I'm teaching grade 4 to 6. I do tutor Afrikaans and then natural science and technology. I found SEED Academy to be very interesting because remember I come from the normal school in brackets. I mean in inverted commas, and now I've started on online teaching, which was quite challenging for me, but very interesting. So I'm actually happy that I've started. I retired in January last year, and I was sitting at home, working on my wife's nerves, and then eventually I decided, no, I need to look for a job. And then I hooked up with John, and I had an interview with him, and I passed that interview with flying colors because I'm a very intelligent person. Now only teasing. Yeah, my experience at SEED Academy has been a very good one so far. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure that any parent, if I can master this at the age of 66, I'm sure a lot of parents can do this. Obviously, this is the advantages of being connected to SEED Academy for your child, for example, is the safety aspect. Your child is at home, your child doesn't have to travel to school, whatever, and then the cost effectiveness because You have to pay such a lot of money for transport. You have to see that the child have lunch and stuff. So joining Seed, allowing your child to join Seed means that you're saving a lot of money. We also teach them to be responsible. I know that the parents are always concerned about the children being responsible, but here we teach them to be responsible because we check on them, the parents check on them, and most of the time we find that the children has done their work, they've done their assessments, and they're actually doing very great. I'm very, very impressed, not being so long at Seed Academy, but I'm really impressed with the kind of children we have. We do follow, like Claire said, we do follow CAPS, we do follow the Department of Education, which is good so that your child will not get lost. What I do also like about Seed Academy are the rules and regulations. It's quite strict, and it teaches your child to be disciplined. It teaches your child to do his work or her work. It teaches the child to be quite good. And it's not easy because you can't really teach your child responsibilities, but you have to allow your child to be responsible. And that is exactly what Seed does. It allows your child to be responsible. And I still have a lot to say. I've got about 10 pages here, but I'm going to stop right there. Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really enjoy being at Seed, and I'm sure your child will do the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Herbert. Appreciate that. Before we go on to our next panelist, I just want to go to Facebook. I see that there's a question. A question being, I just want to ask if I must deregister the grade 6 from the Department of Education, because I heard with grade 10 there's no need to deregister them. Okay, so from grade 1 up until grade 9, the parent has to register the children with the Department of Education as homeschool students. So we will assist you, Bungala, with regards to that process. After you've registered, we'll give you a list of documents that you need, and obviously we'll provide you with the additional documentation for the Department of Education. Just so you know, the department requires you like a portfolio of evidence, which I'm happy to say that we do give you that at the end of the year, which you can submit at the end of each phase, or if you are deciding to go back to mainstream school at the end of the year, that you should join mainstream school again. Then there was also another question, I think, Lishay, what grades are we from? Lishay, we are from grade R to grade 12, but we are also introducing our ECD, which is basically from the age groups 1 to 2, all the way up until 4 to 5, age appropriate. And it's a tool that we use to empower parents to bond more with their kids, but also do fun things at home, you know. So it is a very interactive. Our tutor is very involved in giving you direction and assisting you in getting the best results out of your little ones. So we're very excited about the ECD program. Yes, so I'd like, if Abigail, if you don't mind unmuting yourself and maybe just give us your point of view from a parent, as well as, you know, how your child is experiencing Seed Academy and what the benefits is that you've personally experienced, please.
Hi, thanks, Melissa. Every time I want to talk about this, I start getting emotional because it's been the most amazing journey with Seed Academy. My son started in July last year, and before that he had huge trouble attending school. He was anxious. He really struggled with school. And when he joined Seed Academy in the beginning, he was so excited, being able to talk to tutors and tutors actually listening to him and seeing him as an individual. That's one thing that stands out for me. In the beginning, there were hiccups, but all those things were sorted out. We have awesome systems in place. Since I am an employee as well, I've learned so much more about how, you know, the kids the way they interact with each other. They are all in different provinces and they're making new friends. It's not like they're isolated. We're starting to think of play dates when, after lockdown. And the tutors are so helpful. My son is quite lazy, to be honest. So when he doesn't do his assignments on time and I'm nagging, and then I have to chat with the tutor on WhatsApp and I'm so sorry I hasn't submitted, can you please? And then they organize something for you, and his marks, oh my word, he's improved so well. I can really say now my child is such a smart guy because his tutors say that as well. So I'm very proud of him and I'm so grateful for everyone at Seed Academy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abigail. I just want to go to Facebook. I see Tammy Lee asked that the son left grade 8. He's 16 years old. So Tammy Lee, I would suggest he does need a grade 8. So he would have to repeat grade 8 again. You're welcome to contact me via WhatsApp. I'll just ask somebody just to put my contact number on there and maybe we can have a discussion. But he can definitely join us for grade 8 next year. Unfortunately, our grade 8 registrations for this year is completely full. So yes, definitely we can help him. If I can ask maybe Kirsten, if you could please help us and explain to us the whole process of starting and things like that. Thanks, Kirsten.
Wait to put me on the spot. Okay. Our registration process is actually really simple. Once you've spoken to Melissa, one of our other consultants, and you made your payment, they'll send you a link to filling a really quick, easy form. That form comes straight to me, and I assign your child to a class in the grade. You'll get a confirmation email as soon as I confirm it. You'll then be added to a waiting list for an induction group, which happens usually the Friday after you sign up. So if you pay on a Wednesday, your induction will be the Friday, 2 days after that. This is run by our customer service representative. We're also available if you have any questions in the process. Once your form has been received and you've been assigned to a class, they will also add your child to Google Classrooms so that they can start to familiarize themselves with our system, with the way things work, with how Google Classrooms work. They can start catching up on the term's work that has happened since the start of term. The week after your induction, the Friday following your induction, we add you guys to our WhatsApp groups. You also receive a timetable that day via email. And then your child will start the school next Monday. So it's like a 10-day to a week before you start with us, just to give you time to get used to everything, get your application sent off to the Department of Education, everything like that. Our team, customer support team, is always there to help in that week. They're always available. If you're stuck. And then you'll start live classes on Monday. We do send the links to everything, to all the classes. We send the timetable on the Monday as well to make sure you know where you're going, what you're doing. And yeah.
There we go. Thank you so much, Kirsten, for that. I just want to answer Ursula quickly. How many classes per day? Okay, so Ursula, our classes is normally, like I say, from 8:30 to about 1 o'clock, but it depends on the grade. So for grade 4, we will normally end about 4:30. The live classes is about 3 to 4 classes a day. But obviously that will depend on how the schedule is. So your timetable will dictate how many classes you have. And sometimes it will start at the end at 12:30 and you only have 3 classes. So you have like an hour break in between, but that you can use like your study period, do homework, watch the pre-recorded videos. So I normally explain this for 1 hour, an hour session. So if your first class starts at 8:30, then at 8 o'clock, if you have not watched the pre-recorded videos lessons, at 8 o'clock, you quickly watch a video lesson, 15 to 20 minutes long. gives you enough time to log into the Google Meet, which will then be at 8:30. The tutors will then explain that video lesson. You'll have time to ask questions, interact, student-tutor interaction. And then at 9 o'clock, that session ends. So you can either start your 9 o'clock session with another pre-recorded or take a bit of a break and then join at 9:30. So that is basically what 1 hour would look like. So 3 to 4 lessons a day. Just hold on quickly. Fozia Jacobs, kids with learning barriers like dyslexia, could they do this program? I would say yes. And the reason I say yes is because we do about 80% of the work. But the 20%, which is the most important percent, I feel, is that as a parent, if you're not there with your child, if you're not there supporting your kids at the back end, we cannot provide the assistance. So it is a parent-tutor-kid relationship, basically. So we need to be 100% sure that our kids are always available when they log in, that you support your child, that you check up on your homework. We will give you and support you as much as you can. We will offer you additional assistance with regards to resources that you can use to help your child with these learning disabilities or barriers. And we will assist you where possible and push you where we need. And even if needed, I mean, we have so many homeschooling kids that does homeschooling, but we find that the levels, the one level is grade 5, the next subject level, grade 3 or 4, and things like that. So we do provide you with either an assessment that you can do beforehand, so we can just place your child within the right grade, alternative, and obviously then bring your child to a level where all their subjects and the support is on the correct level for that particular moment. If I could ask John, John, could you please give us direction, where we're heading, where we started, the whole hoorah, like they would call it, please?
Hi, Melissa. Thank you. Before I do that, I just want to just comment. I agree with Melissa in terms of we do try and accommodate learners with learning barriers. We are registered with Sakai for grade 10, 11, and 12, so your child can go all the way up to grade 12 with us and get an NSC certificate. And we do have learners that are struggling with certain learning barriers. And when it comes to assessments, we follow the normal protocol in terms of they might get a scribe, for example. And I know we do have a learner like that in the FET phase at the moment. I'm not going to be too long. I just want to maybe touch on 1 or 2 points, which is, what's the mission? What's the why for SEET Academy? What is it that we want to achieve? The main thing that we want to achieve as SEET Academy is we'd like to prepare our learners for the world they are entering. And that's a different mindset in terms of thinking, because it's not just about the world that the current education system is kind of geared for the first industrial revolution. It's geared towards training and educating learners for a job. And we know today that we've got an over 50% unemployment rate among our youth. And so SEET Academy's vision is to prepare our learners for the world they're entering. For now, that's the world of the fourth industrial revolution. So it's not just good enough anymore to get a piece of paper to say, listen, I've passed grade 12. It's about the mindset. It's about your thinking, about thinking entrepreneurially. For example, one of the things that we do to prepare our learners for the world they're entering is that all our learners from grade 2 to grade 9, all of them do coding, which is programming. So that means that they'll be ready if they want to. If they don't have a job, for example, then they could be a coder, which is somebody that's a programmer, and they can work from South Africa, and they can work for companies all over the world. So as a minimum, we want to make sure that our learners, by the time they leave SEET Academy, that they're able to create their own job, or they're able to take part in the gig economy, or they're able to start their own business, or they can do something. you know. So that's our mission. And in terms of where we're currently at, we're growing quite nicely as an academy, and we're looking at being the leading online school in South Africa within the next 5 years. Currently, we are the fastest growing online school in South Africa, but we're looking at becoming the leading online school in South Africa because we believe that we want to offer an affordable alternative to parents. When one looks at our prices compared to any other online school, and the offering we have, it's a third the price of anywhere else, or even a quarter. So, for example, I think there is still some place this year for certain grades, not grade 10, 11, and 12, grade 1 or grade 9. But I mean, it's 550 Rand per month that we charge from grade R to grade 9. And we also have a ECD online program as well. For grade 10 to 12, it's just over 1,000. But that's because of the additional costs for assessments with Sakai and so on. So yeah, that's basically our vision. It's our mission and our vision where we see ourselves. We do see ourselves as the leading online school in South Africa. And our market is not just homeschooling, because there's a difference between homeschooling and online schooling. Homeschooling is basically where a parent is doing most of it themselves, whereas what we're offering is online schooling. And we're very glad for UCT coming on board with their own online school, because we're now understanding, and I think people are now understanding, that online schooling is an acceptable alternative to traditional schooling, which in South Africa is very difficult, especially public schools, due to the huge number of learners in classes. For our live classes, we basically have a maximum of around 30 learners per class. And in terms of how assessments work, I see that Ursula asked how exams and assessments work. Is learners would do the exams in a digital space, and our staff would basically invigilate them digitally as well. So there are ways of doing that. So the only time that the final matric exam is written is at the end of grade 12. And at the end of grade 12, they physically write it like other grade 12s. That's the only time that they wouldn't be doing it digitally. By digitally, we mean they either do it online, or they leave their camera on and they're writing, or they have a adult that's invigilating them, that's a non-family member. And thanks for putting that. We can still accommodate learners in grade R, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9. So it's just from grade R to grade 9. It's just grade 1 and grade 8 we can't accommodate. And we can't accommodate 10 and 11 due to the fact that we've already submitted our list to Sakai. So yeah, that's it from my side. If there's any other questions. Yeah, so Ursula, thanks for that. The best person to contact would possibly be, I think Melissa's number was put there. If you can just put it again over there, so we're able to register that. So yeah, I think Cynthia, we're happy to obviously let you know that we do have an online ECD now, and we'd like to assist you in that regard. So you can just chat to Melissa around that. But yeah, we're very excited, guys. My background, I know that we're trying to just keep this at around 30 minutes. My background is I come from teaching, and I've realized that our public schools, they're just not, they haven't changed. That's the problem, you know. And when one tries to, I try to change education from inside the school in terms of e-learning, and the schools and the schooling system, it's very difficult for them to change. And so I don't think a lot of them are preparing our learners for the world they're entering. It's just, we're sending our kids to traditional schools because we feel that's what they must do. But sometimes as parents, because I've got 2 daughters as well, we need to ask ourselves, are we preparing them for the world that they're entering based on their own talents and skills? And that's what we're trying to do at Seat Academy, is making it an alternative to traditional school. So I don't see the point of sending your child to a class of 40 or 45 kids in grade 8 and grade 9. And also we know that the dropout rate from grade only 5 out of every 10 learners eventually finish grade 12. That's what we know for various reasons. But I think it is important to know and for us to provide hope to parents and say there is an alternative that's affordable, and that if you join us at SEET Academy, we are committed to continuously improving our own systems and processes and our offering, but also we are committed to preparing your child for the world that they are entering. And I don't hear that from a lot of the other folks that I see coming up. So that's basically what I'd like to share from my side. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate that. I just want to mention that we haven't mentioned this. We also, besides being obviously having the traditional subject choices that we have for all the grades, we also pride ourselves in African languages that we offer. So for first additional language, we've got English, Afrikaans, isiXhosa, isiZulu, Sesotho, Setswana. I'm not too sure if I'm missing anything there, guys.
Sepedi as well.
Thank you, John. And we're obviously looking at adding additional languages throughout the year. So depending on what we find, who wants to join, we'll make a way. You know, I like pushing the limits. And I know Kirsty can sometimes wants to strangle me, but I push the limits, especially if I know that, you know, we can help the students. I try my luck. So if there's any languages, African languages that's out there, we will find a tutor, we will make a way, and we will make a plan for you next year. So please contact me, guys. Just so you know, just want to recap quickly. So we are CAPS aligned. We're only available in English. Registration is $5.50 per month. And my contact number is 061-298-9970. See you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah, sorry, Melissa. Just before we exit, I just like to respond to Cynthia and just say yes, there is isiXhosa, and yeah, one of our goals is to actually offer all the official languages as a first additional language. Our medium of instruction is English, but in terms of the first additional language, we're trying to get to eventually all other 10 languages. That's being offered, and I often tease the guys and I said we might need to look at Mandarin as well as an option just to prepare the learners for the future, and then all our learners are actually doing a third language, which is coding, computers, you know, in terms of how to code. But thank you very much for hosting this,
John,
Melissa, and thanks everybody for setting up things.
John, sorry, there was one question we missed, and that was regarding the DOE. If you could just quickly share about that.
So with regards to the Department of Education, what happens is that we assist with you registering. We have 2 service representatives that we allocate to different grades. So from grade 1 to grade 9, we'll assist you with that process of applying to the Department of Education to register your child. And correctly, as somebody said, from grade 10 to 11 and 12, you don't have to register with the Department of Education. But I do suspect that in the next few years, the concept of homeschooling is now becoming more mainstream. Currently in the legislation, there is no such thing as an online school for grade 1 to grade 9. I don't really want to chat about it at this particular webinar, but what we're offering technically is we're offering grade 1 to 9, we're offering a service to parents who want to homeschool their children, and then for grade 10 to 12, we are a registered distance education provider. Thanks so much, Cynthia. We really look forward to it, and we're excited that you're enrolling your child for the ECD program as well. We do believe that at that age, you know, kids are just they sponges for information and knowledge, and that's why we've introduced an online ECD program to assist our parents to really get their kids off to a really good start. Thank you very much, Melissa.
If I could just add one last thing.
Go ahead.
Just as well to add, what we're also in the process of doing is clubs and societies. We are currently busy with a music lessons that we're busy organizing, sorting out, you know, those finer details we have to sort out. Because a lot of people think that when your child homeschooled, they're isolated, when they really aren't isolated. And to help our kids get more active in things and not just be in front of a screen or just doing school with us, we're thinking outside the box, where we're busy looking into art lessons at the moment, perhaps a chess club and a book club. And I'm going to be sending out a forms soon for our parents to fill in, where they can also say to us, like, what are they interested in? We want to get sports going for these kids, and different activities that they can join in. And maybe perhaps a camp, I heard, is in the discussion, but when lockdown allows it, and we are able to, it is something we are looking into.
Thank you so much, Claire. Is there anybody else that would like to just add something? Is there any other questions, Beth? All good? Okay, well then, guys, Facebook family, thank you so much for joining us. Love the comments. We will get back to you in a short while. Guys, thank you so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you guys during the week. Thanks. Bye.